Hi, how you doing today? Coach Dave here and Coach Mara.
Hi guys.
We are here today to go over 3 separate movements that all are kind of similar. So we're going to go over the push-up and all of its modifications, and then we will also go over the squat thrust and the burpee. They're all very similar, but we'll cover them all today for you guys. So we're going to start out with me explaining how to do the push-up. Mara's going to show you this, and we'll go from there. So first, what I'm going to have her do is I'm going to have her get down and show you 2 good push-ups. Go down and up and up. Good, okay. She can rest for a second. So what you want in a push-up is when we get set up, we want to put our hands down, right? We want to stack the shoulders right over the hands, so it should be straight down. We want to make sure we have a straight line from the shoulder to the hip all the way down to the ankles, okay? And when she comes down, we want to maintain that straight line. I know sometimes when you start out, it might not be a perfect straight line, but the goal at the end of a push-up is to keep that straight line. So she's going to come all the way down, touch that chest, and ideally she's going to try and keep the thighs off the ground. And as she presses up, right, she's going to maintain one straight line. Now, if you're beginners, what you could start with is you can come all the way down, right? And now she might drop those thighs down and roll up a little, kind of like a worm, right? And then lift her knees up. That's also okay when you're a beginner. Now, the goal is to get that straight line, but until then, this will start as your first modification, okay? So she'll come down, thighs to the ground, roll up, right, and there. Now again, remember, a good push-up is going to look like this. She's going to come down, touch that chest, stay nice and stiff, thighs off the ground, and press up. Good? All right, so you want to make sure that you're locking that elbow at the top, right? Everything all the way down, all the way up. Now from there, the next modification she could do is dropping the knees. This makes it a little easier, is she can drop those knees. She is still going to maintain shoulder, hip, and knees all in one line, and she's going to come all the way down, touch that chest, and press up. Okay? Now, one thing I didn't cover that I want to make sure you do is when we do the push-up, we want to make sure elbows maintain a 45-degree angle from the body. What we don't want to see is people tend to push up, and as they're weaker in the chest and triceps, they will let those elbows kind of flare up, and she'll press up, right? She'll do a bad one. Right? That will get more the front of the shoulder rather than the tricep and the chest. Yes, by having them about 45 degrees from the body, you will make it a little more challenging, but you're going to work the correct muscles. And at the end of the day, that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get you to work your muscles correctly. So I'm going to punish her and make her do 2 more good push-ups. One on her knees, one on her toes. There you go. Now she's going to come to her toes. There you go. Down and up. She's my wife. I like to torture her. All right, so now we can, if you guys have an elevated surface, whether you're at a park, a bench, table, in your house, you can find something, you can elevate yourself up. This is another way to kind of make it a little bit easier on you. But again, shoulder, hip, ankles are all in one line. She's going to come all the way down, touch that chest, come all the way up, lock out those arms at the top. Okay? Again, one more, down, and all the way up. Good. Okay, come on up. That is your push-up.
All right.
Now she's got to make me do burpees, and I'm going to, she's going to make me do 100 of them. I don't know.
A little bit later on. Okay, so next movement. We've got the squat thrust for you. Sometimes the squat thrust and the burpee are used interchangeably. They are 2 separate movements, however. So the squat thrust, I'm going to have Dave start by demoing 2 reps for you, and then I'll go through it. Okay, so there is the squat thrust. What you noticed Coach Dave do was he started by squatting down, and then he put his hands as close to his feet. From there, he jumped his feet back into into a push-up position that I demoed to you guys, and then jump the feet back into the hands, and then jumped up, opening those hips at the top of that jump to get full extension. So that is how to do the squat thrust. We want to try to get your hands as close to your feet going down, and then when you're in that push-up position, Dave's going to show you, getting those feet as close to your hands as possible before you do that jump up.
So what you want, and why it's called a squat thrust, is look at my position. Ideally, this is a squat. Okay, so when I jump back, I'm in that push-up position, and I jump in, and I'm in a squat position, and then we jump up.
Okay, so there you have it. And those positions, getting those feet and those hands, are going to transfer right over into the burpee, which is why it was important to show and share that part of it. So, the burpee.
Fun times!
Little bit different. Okay, Dave's going to go ahead and demo 3 this time. I'm going to get his cardio going. Perfect. So you'll notice that there was a lot of similarities in that squat thrust and that burpee. It started with the squat down. His hands went as close to his feet as possible. He jumped his feet back, but when he jumped his feet back, he didn't stop in a push-up. He lowered himself all the way down to the floor. His chest and his thighs are making contact with the ground. Once that happens, he then kind of worms up, jumps his feet into his hands, and then jumps, gets that full extension of the hip at the top. And that is the difference between the squat thrust and the burpee. The burpee is a get up and get down and get back up motion. It is gonna get cardio intensive as well as some strength training in there. We don't want that burpee to be a pause into that push-up position and then a strict push-up like I demoed. We don't want that. Yeah, you'll get stronger with it, but we want to highlight the cardio portion of the burpee.
So what she's talking about is that we don't want to jump back and then push up, come in. Right? As she said, it's good for strength. It's good. I mean, it's not wrong, but it's not getting the purpose of what a burpee does is the cardiovascular.
Yep, exactly. So those are our 3 movements that we're going over with you today. Go for it.
Hopefully you are enjoying our videos. Stay strong, stay fit, stay healthy, guys, and we'll see you soon. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God, my nose was running and I couldn't wipe.